What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Weiss here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs like the founders of P90X, Atari, Quest Nutrition, RX Bar, and many more, how they overcome big challenges in life and business. Our sponsor today is Rise25.com, which helps service professionals, doctors, lawyers, accountants, coaches, anyone working with clients one-on-one, and they want to shift away from stop trading just time for dollars and shift to one-to-many client work. So go to Rise25.com, learn more. You can download a free dream product ladder, which is basically a business plan on one sheet of paper that helps you see gaps and untapped revenue. Companies like Disney, Apple, the sporting industries all use versions of the product ladder. Check out Rise25.com. Today, I'm very excited. We have Nathan Hirsch, founder of FreeeUp. That's 3 E's Up, which is a marketplace connecting business owners with the top 1% of freelancers. I can attest to that. I've talked to several of them. They are top-notch people. These 1% freelancers are in e-commerce, digital marketing, web development, and much more. They've helped companies like Payability, Shark, and many e-commerce companies with their staffing needs. Over the past 15 years, Nate has built several successful multi-million-dollar businesses. In 2006, he founded his first online venture out of a college dorm room, selling and buying student textbooks, and he was able to scale the e-commerce business, bootstrapping from $20 investment to over $30 million of sales on Amazon across a 6-year period while serving over 10,000 customers. Nate is really focused on FreeeUp, and they've grown tremendously to over 5 million so far. Nate, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So what's been the hardest job to hire for? You know, like people have tried to find this particular whatever skill, and you finally cracked the nut and found someone. What's been a hard one to hire for?
Developers. I mean, developers are always going to be the hardest. They speak a different language. It's incredibly hard, even on their end, and giving them credit. There's a lot of great developers out there, even ones that work with me. But giving estimates, giving due dates is really hard for them. And getting developers that can do that and communicate at a high level and break it down for someone like me that I don't know Node, I don't know JavaScript, is an incredibly hard thing to find. And when you find those people, you have to hang on to them. And it also requires some learning on your end from the client side, because Connor and I, the way we deal with developers now is way different than we dealt with them back in the day. Everything from just breaking it down to not assuming things to going over the business logic with them, because a lot of times they don't have that business background. They're trying to code. So breaking stuff like that down for them very simply, and really doing more than just saying, hey, I need an estimate, I need this done by this date, giving them as much information as possible so they can give you informed information.
So, but people can get developers on FreeeUp currently, right?
Absolutely,
yeah. I wanted to talk about your partner, Connor, and how do you divide up the roles with what you guys do?
Sure. So way back in the day, so Connor and I have a great relationship. Around year 4 or 5, I think it's 4 or 5, we started to step on each other's toes a little bit. I made him the CEO of Portlight because I wanted to focus more on the operation, so I was the COO. And once we did that, we kind of started to step on each other's toes. We didn't know who was doing what. We were giving employees and contractors just totally different messages. And we found this activity online, and we sat out on my porch, and for an hour, we just went back and forth. Hey, you're good at this. You're bad at this. Connor's like, you're bad at writing. I'm like, hey, you're bad at running Monday morning meetings. And brutally honest with each other.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, we had this list of pros and cons for each of us, and we just realized that we overlapped each other so well, and it worked out so nicely. It was like, I'm bad at writing. He's a fantastic writer. He wrote our book. So it's been, ever since that, it's been very easy to, whenever something comes up, we're like, all right, who should this go to? And it's very natural. We almost, when we meet, I had a meeting with him this morning, we pick it up very quickly. We're like, these are the things we have to do. You're taking this, I'm taking this. and we go forward. And I'm fortunate that I've been able to build that kind of business relationship.
Yeah. So Nate, what was something he thought you were bad at, but you thought you were good at? Like writing would be an obvious one where, okay, yeah, I agree, but I'm sure there's some stuff, with my business partner, I'd be like, he may say something, and most of the time I'll agree, but sometimes like, no, I don't agree with that at all.
So dealing with remote contractors and dealing with employees is way different. I used to have an office back in Orlando, and I consider myself a personal person, I guess, but when it comes to business, like I'm very logical. I'm very like black and white, like this is the way it's done, remove the emotional element. And that doesn't always work when you have employees in the office. I mean, people have bad days, they've got family issues, a lot of stuff that I don't have to deal with on the VA side. But we used to have an office and something would go wrong or someone needed to be disciplined. He did not think I was good at handling those because I'm a brutally honest person. They walk into the door for the meeting and I'm like, this is what you're doing wrong, X, Y, Z. And in my mind, it's like I just told you the logic behind it, like go fix it. Where he has a more personal approach. He's like, how are you doing? Like, let's get more information. And I think my strategy works a lot better with VAs who are very focused on me, and we kind of remove that those personal elements.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'm listening to a book, Practice Perfect, and it talks exactly about this. Not that one approach was better than the other, but that even your approach is good because you're specific, and most people don't tell people what they're doing wrong. They just kind of let it slide until it builds up. So it's interesting.
It's good.
Yeah. Improving culture. Again, you're big on making sure culture is good, even with remote employees. What are some best practices people should think about? What's that? I'm sorry. Yes, contractors.
Yeah, so it's funny. A lot of people, they fall into the habit. They find all these random people and they put them together, and then they're like, all right, this is the culture, let's build it. Where a much better strategy is you identify what you want your culture is on that spectrum, and then you add people in that fit into that culture. And when you add someone that doesn't fit into that culture, it really ruins the culture for everyone. So half the battle is just getting those right people to begin with. And that's all that attitude portion that we talked about.
Yeah.
And then once you actually get those people into the culture and you get a bunch of similar-minded people in that culture that you built, it's all about consistency and having that same message going from the top down. If Connor and I are if I'm talking to one person and Connor's talking to another person and we're giving them totally different vibes, totally different messages, it destroys the culture. We have to be on the same page going down, from me to my internal team to all the freelancers on the marketplace. And we have to hold people accountable to it. If someone's a really talented worker skill-wise and they're destroying the culture, workers want to see that we're taking action. It doesn't mean we kick them out right away, but we're talking with them. We're doing everything possible to fix it. And having that consistency where, hey, this is the culture, this is the way it is, it's not optional, it's part of what we're doing, really goes a long way to keeping it long-term.
Yeah. So, Nate, this has been fantastic. I have two more questions, but I want to encourage everyone to check out FreeeUp.com. It's FR3EUP.com. They have, I've firsthand experienced just top-notch people, individuals, like you're saying, with the skill, the attitude, and the communication, just top-notch on all three. So thanks for what you guys do, because you are taking a heavy weight off of business owners. That we should be doing other things and leaving the professionals to do whatever it's advertising or web development, or not try and do images that you're not trained to do, type of thing. So thank you for that. Since it's Inspired Insider, Nate, I always like to ask, what's been a low moment with FreeeUp, and then what's been a proud moment with FreeeUp?
So I'm fortunate with FreeeUp. I haven't had the same issue that I had with my Amazon store where I had to totally start over. With the kind of the theme of the developers, where hiring developers is hard. We have a developer, Russell. He's awesome. He worked with me at Portlight, works with me on FreeeUp, built our entire software program. And I think it was end of last year, beginning of this year, we had hired 2 to 3 developers, and we just realized that we had pretty much wasted 3 months of developing, because The developers, they weren't working well together. The culture between them was awful. They were disagreeing on how everything should get done. And with Connor and I, we're not developers. We don't really know who's right and who's wrong, which made it incredibly hard for us to get in the middle and break it down anyway. So it was like, all right, do we scrap it? Do we get rid of Russell, who's been a key for us for a while? Do we hire an agency and pay top dollar? Do we just start over and hire different freelancers? This was like right on the edge where FreeeUp was starting to get new developers. So we didn't have a lot of dev options in the network yet. And that was kind of a low. So we ended up kind of going with our gut, and we were like, all right, Russell's right. Like, let's kind of stick with him, even though we weren't 100% sure. We got rid of the other developers, and we got Russell more involved on the recruitment process before we added new ones. And we look now, and our dev team is rocking. They're crushing stuff out. Our software has never been better. There's always ways to improve, but that was really that low moment where, I mean, we wasted thousands of dollars on these developers that we got very little.
Yeah. You were mentioning, managing that project is a huge task. Are there certain productivity tools you use? I don't know, like people use Trello or Basecamp or Asana. What do you use to manage like these big projects or staff in general? Yeah,
so I'm glad you mentioned that. I left that out. So we also got Jira. I think it's Jira or Jira.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. Yeah.
But yeah, we started using that afterwards to keep everyone on the same page. And then we also hired a Filipino quality assurance manager that knew dev a little bit, that would go through and test stuff. They were in charge of Jira, so that Connor and I didn't have to get involved in that at all. And it's never been better. It keeps everything organized. The devs know what's assigned to them. They know to pass things to staging to get tested to go to production. So that's really what we set up. I use Trello for just personal day-to-day stuff. I have it divided up between long-term projects, short-term projects, podcasts I want to get on, influencers that I'm talking to and trying to close, and then just video ideas. I have a whole section for that I throw in there and check off once I do them.
Yeah. And on the flip side, Nate, proud moments.
Yeah, so our goal going into this year was if we hit 5,000 hours billed in a week, we were going to celebrate and take a trip out to the Philippines to meet everyone. So we hit 5,000 hours halfway through this year. I'm hoping to break 10,000 hours this week. I'm going to look at the numbers after I get off this call with you.
Congrats, that's awesome.
Thank you. It ends at 6 p.m. today, so we got 2 hours. So we have a trip planned in March, and we got to celebrate with everyone, and it was just a proud moment. I mean, we built this from scratch with no investment, with an amazing group of people, and just got to celebrate it with everyone.
Yeah. Nate, I want to be the first one to thank you. It's been fantastic. Everyone should check out FreeeUp.com with 3 E's. Anywhere else we should point people towards online to check out?
Yeah, I mean, check out the FreeeUp blog. We post a lot of great hiring content there, even if you're not ready to hire just yet. Right at the top of FreeeUp.com is my calendar if you ever want to book a meeting with me. And if you sign up and you mention this podcast, you get $1 off your first worker forever.
Nice.
Jeremy will have an affiliate link there. And yeah, I mean, I'm here to help, so feel free to reach out.
I guess last thing, Nate, who is perfect to start using FreeeUp? I know we talked about e-commerce people with different tasks. Do you want to expand on that at all? Who'd be a good fit to start using your services?
Yeah, I mean, business owners in general, obviously e-commerce, but we work with real estate agents and business coaches and even brick and mortar stores that are looking to build a website or hire a marketer. Agencies that constantly are contracting work out. We're a very quick source of talent, so we help people grow their agencies. And then just influencers. If you have your own base, not only can you hire workers for your business, but you can make a lot of money at our affiliate program by telling your community about it. We have great content we'd love to share with you, and we're on pace to pay out over $150,000 this year from our affiliate program.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of cool use cases when you go on with obviously various tasks with e-commerce or just someone running their business. I mean, anyone needs accounting stuff, I would assume. So
there's very few businesses that can't benefit from hiring virtual assistants.
Yeah. Nate, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. And everyone check out FreeeUp.com.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I'm feeling like $100 grand.